So Diamond League, new
Hmm.
format, 4 jumps. It's basically the same as all the other normal formats of track and field. No more best jump or throw in the final round wins. It's the best jump or throw over the final six, over all six of throughout all the entire competition. So we're
Yep.
back to normal. I think the big change here is they're planning on pausing the track meet for the final round of throws, which is a great thing for throws fans, jumps fans, and track and field fans as a whole. Because let's be honest, a big obstacle for watching track and field
Hmm.
is I personally think there's too many events, and people just naturally aren't going to be invested in 8 different sports all at once. It's
Hmm.
just a part of the reality of our sport. And so because of that, we end up getting very segmented. You have people who are diehard sprint fans. Obviously, there's a huge distance running community. There's you know, the throws community, the jumps community. Now there is
Hmm.
people who are super fans and it overlaps and it's like perfect and this is their utopia of track and field. But if we're being honest, there are people who come in, they want to watch the 100, and then when a steeplechase is going on, they're getting up and going to the bathroom. And then there's people
Hmm.
who do the exact opposite. Steeplechase is on. We're watching this. We want to see how fast we go. What's the pace? What's going on? I want to see all of it. And the people who are waiting for Sha'Carri Richardson to run the 200, they're grabbing a cup of
Yeah.
coffee. Uh, and I think this is a big issue for people who are big fans of field events because distance fans love to complain, why are you going to commercial during the middle of a 10K, during the middle of 5K?
Yeah.
That's compared to why do you never show our actual event? You would just see
Yeah.
a highlight after the event an hour later. So it's good that we're showing actual live field events and not just replay field events. So should be good.
And an innovation that helped improve this was broadcasters started doing different channels that were dedicated specifically to the event because they figured, hey, it's just impossible to squeeze everything in a main broadcast. So here's your triple jump feed, here's your shot put feed, here's your long jump feed, here's your pole vault feed. Go crazy. But that doesn't exist for every single meet. And for the Diamond League, yeah, they're going to try to pause and have the final three. Now, for the final three, again, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see the winning jump or throw because that could come anywhere in the competition, which is a change here. Before they would say, hey, it's got to be in the final three, which had a lot of pushback because someone could have a vastly superior mark and then lose. But you're right. People do have their strong preferences in track and field. Famously, Sacramento, the sprints end, they're out of there. That's it. The 10Ks last, there's 12 people in the stands, more than 12, but you get my point. But the thing with field events is field events are just this omnipresent thing that's always going on in track meets. And yeah, even if you're a diehard track fan, it's hard to ignore what's going on the track. But then as soon as the moment the running event happens, you're like, oh, wait, Mondo's vaulting. Oh, let me go check that out. And especially if you're in person, your eyes are going back and forth like you're watching a tennis rally, like switching between this thing and that thing. And it's cool because you see these random bits of awesomeness, but you very rarely, unless you're zeroed in on that, unless you're very focused on it, or unless you're watching at home one of those dedicated feeds, you're rarely watching the entire competition start to finish with all the context that's involved in it. And I think that is something that makes it so much more enjoyable is watching it from beginning to end because you can quickly turn over and be like, whoa, Krauser just chucked the world record. But then, all right, well, what else happened? Like, I don't know, but Krauser just threw the world record. That's pretty awesome because you're not really watching it. Whereas running events, you're getting it all at once. It happens in in tandem with each other, so you're able to actually see the entire event. So it's something that's unique about field events, something that they're trying to fix here. I mean, do you like the fact that they're at least attempting it? Do you see any hiccups potentially to this?
You're gonna go live and watch 3 fouls. That was entertaining. I just saw 3 people foul in the final round, and
That's true.
we
That's true.
it's like okay, whoa. And I mean, in order to make it fun, you have to actually watch the whole thing. I mean, I have a lot of ideas that you could do. Like, let first of all, what about putting a line in the sand and treating the long jump and the triple jump like the way you treat high jump and pole vault, and same thing with shot put. So You got to throw it or jump over this line, and then you move on to the next round. And the line gets farther and farther away. Last one to survive wins, similar to high
Mhm.
jump and pole vault. Another idea, what if you did it? Hey, you get 6 jumps and you're allowed 2 fouls, and we add up your 4 jumps, and the longest distance total wins. So basically, it rewards people who are consistent, not just have 1 jump and then 5 fouls. You got to have 4 good jumps. And so it's basically you keep on who
Mhm.
can this combined. That's an idea. And then my favorite idea, which I just thought of, would be I want 8 runways next to each
Mm.
other, and I
Yep.
want all 8 long jumpers to long jump at the same time.
Gotcha.
And then you can visually see who went the furthest, like
Yeah.
a 100-meter dash. You have the long jump event. They all get 1 jump. We're lining up. They're ready to go. We see it, and then we see who was the furthest, and then they're a winner.
I like that each one of those ideas was unique and each one was uniquely bad in its own different way. Like
Oh,
that
come
that was
on.
impressive because you picked one where there's logistically no possible chance of it happening due to space. You picked one that would make it take forever, which they're trying to get away from. And then you picked one where you add up the total marks so to create some huge number that has no context at all. How far did you throw the shot today? Oh, I threw it 140.7 combined meters.
Yeah. I mean, why are we doing? I mean, what's the whole point of having 6 attempts? Is because they realize that you need 6
Yeah.
tries to get to your best, right? But like, hey, what? But then that opens up a comp like potential of 5/6 of your event being
Right,
boring
right.
because people are just throwing short or jumping short or fouling, right? So make them say, hey, no more. You can't foul no more. You got to be good for 4 out of 6. And take forever. No, it would if you put a line in the sand or a line out in the field for a javelin or shot put, it would be to take this pole vault and high jump.
Well, I know, but the whole point, the only way this works is because you have definitive time windows to do the final 3 because you just get 6 attempts. And if you go to the high jump or pole vault method, things are going to be going on for a very long time, or at least it's unpredictable. It's unpredictable when it would end. Um, Tampa Eagle says Gordon is insane, and that's a member of your group there. That's the first member of Gordon's Goons. Anthony says, "Can you explain the other changes they made?" That's pretty much it. So basically, um, the leader is going to go first. That's the other different thing. Usually, the leader goes last, so they're going to put the leader first, and only the top 3 get that final attempt, but everybody else gets 5. But the winning mark and the second best mark and the third best mark comes from anywhere in the competition. So yes, you're going to see probably those final 3 because it looks like they're going to stop everything else on the track, but the winning mark may not come from that. How about the best person going first instead of last? Do you like that or not like that?
I mean, I understand the point of it because you don't want the person to be able to do a
To pass.
swan song jump at the end or a pass at the end, right? You want them to
Mhm.
have to try to win and argue like, oh, you want to give the competitive advantage to the person who's in the lead. Well, so I don't know. Would you purposely not jump as far so you can go last? Probably
No,
not, right?
no.
You'd still
Be
just
pretty
jump as far
difficult to
as you
pull
can.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You wouldn't try to sandbag. So
You'll still see people scratch jumps because they'll be or throws because they'll be so confident in themselves that they'll still pass. But yeah, you're trying to squeeze out that one last throw from them, or just increase it by 1. So I like it. Yeah, it's weird because you're putting yourself almost at a disadvantage, but I'm not an athlete. I'm looking at this from the perspective of a spectator. I like it. I've seen way too many passes or intentional fouls in the last mark. I want to see it happen. Anthony says, "Can of course Gordon is insane. Can you imagine Gordon putting on an event? It would be chaos. I would go to that event though. As much as I criticize Gordon's events, I would go to the first ever Gordon's Goons track meet because it would be completely unpredictable and make no sense at all. There would be scores. It would be like the scores in Space Jam when you get bonus points, and the Goon Squad is up 1,200 to 75 at halftime. That's how it would be, and no one would know what's going on. But I would go to your track meet, Gordon, if you had one.
appreciate.